I normally don't share my opinion on something like this, but watching the bodybuilding show last night between Nick and Derek, I just was thinking so deeply about what I saw, and I feel like I really wanted to share it. I didn't know who was going to win. It was kind of going back and forth. And then at the very end, they called Derek as the winner. The level of letdown, disappointment in Nick, from what I could feel at first and then what I could see, was so strong that it was inspiring. It was something that motivated me and made me excited about just sport and competitive drive. And I don't think people understand how rare it is to see something like that, how vulnerable it is for an athlete to work so hard, to put themselves in a position to lose, to believe in themselves so strong, and to put themselves into something that they have no control over. Not many people in their life will ever experience that level of disappointment, because they'll never even work hard enough to earn that. And the amount of stored potential energy that comes from that is absolutely insane. To be able to take that kind of lesson and revert that to your life when shit happens and you think you have a plan for something and it falls short or you don't get what you want, or worse, to be able to look at that not as punishment but as preparation. Sure, if you win, there's some excitement, there's some energy that comes from that, but then it flatlines, it dumps. When you lose something like that, there is so much energy that you can put towards good. I don't think people understand that, how hard that is to earn that level of energy. Setbacks Nick's had over the years, the amount of work he's put in, the amount of belief he's had in himself. Say what you want about him. This isn't about him personally at all. That's admirable. Maybe it's not healthy or conducive to normal life, but hey, neither is bodybuilding. To look at a competitor like that and see that level of disappointment, there's such a huge lesson in there of understanding the amount of energy that comes from that you have to work so hard for so long, to have successes and setbacks back and forth, to just be able to get to that point, to feel something so deeply. I don't think people understand how rare that is. I had goosebumps sitting in the crowd. I didn't even have a reaction to the show. I was just sitting there staring at him, thinking about all this. I was like, wow, there's so much emotion coming into that, and most people will never experience that in their entire life. And while it feels like absolute shit right now while he's in it, it is leading himself up for the greatest progression ever, the greatest comeback, the greatest feelings of positive emotion in the future when he comes back from this and uses it for good, to prepare himself to be better, and takes that energy, puts it behind him to push him forward. I think that's so incredible and such a powerful lesson for life, to be able to take your shortcomings and sit in them. I'm sure he was pissed. He should be pissed. I would hope if I ever lost in Olympia, I would have felt exactly the same, because you love and you care about something. You're working so hard for it. You should be disappointed, but to be able to take that after you let yourself work through the emotions of anger, sadness, and grief, and then be able to put that behind you and get back to work and use it to fuel you, to make you better, that fires me up. Emotions was always driven me in sport more than anything, and that was one of the first things since retiring where I was like, damn, I got goosebumps. Not enough to get me back on stage, but it was fun to watch. You have to have a lot of respect and appreciation for people who work so hard and put so much on the line towards something. So it was really cool to see, and I think the important thing to take from that, at least that I took from that,